Modern sculpture. This has a deep meaning. Ancient sculpture. Big dude. Hell yeah. Europe, if Europe colonized it. The 1,000-year-old Roman Empire, seeing the American Empire collapse only after 244 years. Pathetic. Slav caliber. He who pulls it from the tree becomes the king of Yugoslavia. That may do it. Sometimes in life, you must let go and cleanse the negativity around you. Wolf truce on Eastern Front. Wolf packs are getting out of control. Want to hold a truce and hunt them down? The Aztecs looking for the right spot to build their biggest city. Too hot, too easy, too rocky. Perfect. Medieval medics after cutting someone's leg with a rusty knife, but sprinkling it with holy water. Roman citizens, the world is dark, we are abused by bread and games. 1800 French military uniform. Today's military uniforms, where did the style go? Where was the time where you could just outfab your opponents? Sire, there's too many of them, there is no hope. Silence, coward. What is it that we have that they don't have? Courage, sire. No, Livingston, you fool! We have more buttons! Ancient Egyptians placing health packs, weapons and ammo around their tombs, so Lara Croft can use them one day. POV, you were told that you'd get a Roman citizenship for a quick round of military service, and now you have to 1v1 an elephant. You don't know what those are. The Japanese after getting electronics from the West. Today I learned that in 1903, the New York Times predicted that building a flying machine would be possible in 1 to 10 million years. To understand how ridiculous this is, the first successful powered airplane flew the same year. You're understating how ridiculous. It wasn't just the same year, it was 9 days later. The Wright brothers after reading that article, and I took that personally. Falls off horse, don't. Write that down in the record, Korean historian. King Taejong fell from his horse. He then asked not to be recorded in the record. And now we're talking about it all because you asked not to be recorded. Did the opposite. Australia, World War I. I just killed 17 men with my combat knife. Australia, Emu War. Scary big chicken. A human skull found with a broken spear/sword still embedded in it. The skull is said to be that of a Roman soldier who died during the Gaelic Wars. Is he okay? He's okay, but he did die. Cats in the 13th century. Rat with bubonic plague. Tasty. Cats in 2025. This imported organic salmon is cold. I can't eat it. Where did the real cats go? The Earth being centered on Great Britain is arbitrary. So here is a map centered on New Zealand. I was reading about Thomas Jefferson's medicine history and violent headache for 2 days after behaving awkwardly in front of a girl he fancied. He was age 20. BBC calling Chile a thin strip of land in South America. It's bigger than the UK, really? Damn. What most people think how Spanish-America War ended, what really happened? I'm gonna give you 20 million to go away. Victoria in Hollywood. Keep fighting the patriarchy, queen. Thank you, sis. Victoria in real life. Keep fighting the patriarchy. Why are you speaking without a husband present? Why are you dressing in such a revealing manner? Anyway, why is a peasant speaking to us? Chocolate today. I need to be safe for kids. Chocolates in the past. Literal drugs in them. If guns didn't exist, people wouldn't kill each other. Before guns existed. Wolf distribution in Italy from 1900 to 2020. I love how they're coming back. Dong. Literally anything else. Vietnam in 1978. Trying to figure out what to name their currency. When were tank tracks invented? 1830s. Tanks in 1829. The Gordian knot. Whoever could unravel it would rule all of Asia. I'm gonna do what's called a pro-gamer move. Will you go out with me? No. Our states are ruined on account of women. Locusts swarm to your farm. Name 5 Egyptian gods. Just reap what I sow, bro. Australia's first cops were all criminals. Their first police force was made up of 12 of the best behaved convicts. We're bad, but now we're good. Clement Vallandigham, a lawyer who, while trying to demonstrate how the victim might have accidentally shot himself and died. He then won the case. Maybe that was his intention all along. Moving out. When the European settlers arrived, they needed land to live on. The First Nations people agreed to move to different areas to make room for the new settlements. Doubt. Imagine being some Portuguese explorer coming across this majestic being. Pretty sure the Portuguese had seen an Englishman before. Damn, I'm not even gonna get mad. I wouldn't mind being an orangutan. Humans. Become successful hunters that have so much meat all the time. Wolves. Hey, handsome, let's be friends. Yeah, people forget that we didn't only tame wolves, they tamed us, okay? We fed them. Y'all couldn't behave, so we made it the Gulf of Poland. Be as confident as a medieval scribe who clearly hadn't seen camels before, but didn't let that fact get in the way of their drawing. My invention will end pointless deaths and warfare. They all thought the same thing, and it did the opposite. People. History is so boring. Can't we talk about something else? History. Before the pig, pig. Military escalation, resolution. God. Let's give this hairless, fragile, bipedal primates a hand to hunt food and enough intelligence to survive. Some 100,000 years later. How the Western Roman Empire handled barbarians. They sacked Rome. No! How the Eastern Roman Empire handled barbarians. Here's some money. Go sack the West instead. Okay. Do you plead guilty, witch? More weight. 1872. Sorry, chap. That was just good business. Outrageous! You sold warships to our rebelling states. Good heavens, what is going on over here? This guy can't smash his wife properly. What? Yeah, I think this guy was a known cuck. Receive wooden horse. Don't look inside. My brother just helped out a kookaburra that was getting beaten up by magpies and now it's chilling in his car. Are there people in Australia? No. 1346. I wear this cool bird mask all day and stuff it with herbs so I don't smell the rotting corpses lining the streets. 2020. Tiny cloth face mask evil. Gets ordered to fire nuclear missiles. Refuses to obey the order. Saves the world from nuclear apocalypse. Leaves. Foolish pagans. We are Romans. We know no fear. Alright. You madmen, take the money and leave. We put boats on wheels. Greek soldiers wanting to go home after 20 years at war. Alexander wanting to name another city after himself. I am average American man. I work 15 hours in Hamburger mine to buy one rock and roll disc. This is a KGB spy being questioned by the police in 1985. I'm the pride of Sweden. I'm the most powerful warship ever built. Oh no, a gust of wind. Bronze Age peasants be like, I have my whole life ahead of me. No you don't. The sea peoples are coming. When you grow up, people stop asking what your favorite medieval window is. They don't even care anymore. Anglo-Saxon or Rose. What expectations? Please give us a rest. We're tired of winning. We got the Spanish on the run. Or reality? My god, the crabs, they're eating the corpses. When you are drawing with a ruler and accidentally stumble on a finger. Oops, sorry. Why is it squiggled? Why is it like this? Does anyone know? The British and Dutch throughout history. You're here too? Yeah. Nicholas II tries to ban vodka in Russia. I don't know why, but he looks like the king of like England at one point. I don't know his name. Hello, I've bought an empire today and I've got a complaint. Hello, please describe the problem. What the hell? What is Little Caesar's gonna do about it? When in Rome, do as the Romans do, I shout as I stab my political opponent to death. Historical accuracy intensifies. I have a customer support question. Do you still make these? I hate the fact that the sentence mummies are rare because we ate them is factual. I'm sorry, what? I'm so happy to be the one to introduce you to the horrible few hundred years where Europeans regularly consumed ground Egyptian mummies. Guys want to run their mouths until I pull up with me and 256 of my closest friends forming a perfect Macedonian phalanx. If your girl is Polish, has a horse, has wings, she's not your girl. She's a winged hussar. Some Roman politician who served in Egypt. You know what Rome needs? Needs a pyramid. Having several cities named after you. Having a country named after you. Having an entire historical era named after you. Having the title for king, emperor named after you for the next 200 years. Imagine slamming your brother out because he had better swag than you. Then you come to Egypt just to see bro bossed up on you even more. Alright, we know what getting a haircut is now, but what about in medieval Norway? Babe, you must get a haircut. No, I will not cut my hair until all of Norway is unified under me. Knights in fiction. I will do as you command, my king. Knights in reality. Sorry, we don't like you anymore. Time to die, I guess. Go to Italy for the best sandwiches, they said. My ratatouille rat is making me fight someone else, also controlled by a rat. Me and the other guy have no beef. Only the rats are enemies and we have no idea why. While punching with a limb no longer our own, we lock eyes with mutual grief and compassion, forgiving whoever kills the other. This is what it was like to be a horse for much of human history. They need more recognition. Could you imagine how much more Alexander could have conquered if he had access to nicotine? Carthage lost a battle. All our men were wiped out. No, execute this traitor and get a new general. Rome lost a battle. All our men were wiped out. Great, do what you want for another 40k men. Caesar, killed brutally. Some guy in 1806. Vibe check. Normal people with a time machine. I must save the Library of Alexandria. I'm your great-granddaughter. Me with the time machine. Dad, quick, buy shares of Amazon. Amazon, Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple. My son, you'll be the imperator soon. You must choose your fate. You can be a good ruler, or you can make a fool of yourself in a circus. Circus time. Divine Comedy, 1867. This doesn't look very funny. This looks scary. In memory of, is it World War XI or World War II? We set sail tomorrow, boys. Have you consulted the sacred chicken, sir? What? Are you an idiot? We leave tomorrow. We have glory to win. You have to consult with them. Spain, after the natives stopped giving them free gold. Hope going down. Money going down. Fun history fact. If you just got excited, you're a nerd. Basically, English is what happens when Vikings learn Latin and use it to shout at Germans. More like when Anglo-Saxons learn French and use it to shout at the world. Put in past tense. I live in Tokyo. I live in Edo. He's got a point. Asia exists. Genghis Khan. And I took that. Okay guys, we need to put sandals on the ground around here. Vintage pepper grinder. Word pepper grinder. Found it in Granddad's garage. £30. It's not a pepper grinder. Be very careful when using this. Biscuit. American biscuit left. And one variety of British biscuit. Right. To Bourbon. Americans, are you aware that you're using the wrong word? Man, shut up. I swear to God with your ugly little hard air cookies. Military uniforms. 2025. We need camo to avoid getting spotted. 1225. Come at me. I have drip. All World War II movies focus on Americans, which isn't fair to the other countries and gives the USA far too much credit. Have you considered watching foreign films from countries like Russia, Greece, or let's say India instead of American movies? No. Do you say Caribbean or Caribbean? So this person says Caribbean, but he pronounces Pirates of the Caribbean the other way. But I say Caribbean for everything. Caribbean, Caribbean. Drive from Europe to the US. Russia proposes world's greatest superhighway. Road trip. Get in the car. 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a world war. No! I immediately bought this because it made me laugh so hard I cried. Well-behaved copper ingot merchant rarely makes history. How people think the colonization of the Native American went. The Spaniard army. How it actually went. The Aztec fighting everything. What is the roundest country? Let me see. I drew Anubis as a jackal-headed man to represent both his human and animal forms. No, why would it? Don't you worry, it may lead to misunderstanding. 5,000 years later. Dog, man, death god. Britain invents the word soccer. US also adopts the word soccer. Britain switches back to football and starts making fun of the US for using the word soccer. Hold on. Nikola Tesla's life be like? Burned through savings on a project. Project fail or is stolen. Burned through savings on a project. Project fail or is stolen. Being used as a joke by male politicians. Becoming the first female mayor as a result. Who fought in World War II? Maurice? When? The worst she can say is no. Her live reaction? While the exact number is debated, it's widely believed that a large number of women, possibly in the hundreds, participated. Mass self-immolate. What is self-immolation? What does that mean? Self-immolation. Setting themselves on fire. In 1925, in his first known courtship of a woman, Montgomery, then in his late 30s, proposed to a 17-year-old girl, Betty Anderson. His approach included drawing diagrams in the sand of how he would deploy his tank and infantry in a future war, a contingency which seemed very remote at that time. She respected his ambition and single-mindedness, but declined his proposal. What a weirdo. This is peak humor. Vlad the Impaler. Things I did not know. After their defeat and loss at Copenhagen in 1807, the Danes responded by planting 90,000 oak trees towards the Navy's rebirth. The Danish Nature Agency, successor to the Royal Forester, informed the Defense Ministry in 2007 that their trees were ready. Today I learned that when a critic insulted the nudity in Michelangelo's The Last Judgment, the painter punished him by painting the critic's likeness onto the body of Minos, the judge of the underworld. He then further insulted the critic by giving the likeness donkey ears and having a snake bite his genitals. Get him! List of crusades. You can help by expanding it. No, not yet. The French. We have learned from our past and will never let so much power be in the hands of a single person. Minutes later. Napoleon! The world of the Ottomans agreed on cheaper pepper, accidentally searched kimono dragon, and was not disappointed. Artifacts that showed how we have never changed. Child doodles in the 14th century manuscript. Today I found out that Victor Hugo has done the deed more than any human on the planet. He had so much of the deed, his autobiographers straight up gave up trying to document all of his partners 3 to 9 times a day. He had a secret diary about it. He had official and unofficial mistresses. 200 partners in 2 years. Don't forget that on the day of his funeral, all the places in Paris for, you know, the deed were closed because every single woman in the whole city was busy mourning him. Apparently 2 million people attended his funeral, and I don't even know who this guy is. At the 1415 Battle of Agincourt, where the English army, mostly archers, devastated a vastly superior force of French knights. Many of the victorious archers fought without their pants on. In the afterlife, souls can see how many living people still know you once existed. You, who had lived a fairly normal life, finally saw the count drop to 0 just 200 years after your death. 500 years later, 95% of the Earth's total population suddenly knows about you. And they all know I sold really bad copper. Germany and France go to war. Who loses? Belgium. Every country has its most dangerous weapons. Italy, Russia, Finland. Finland is the snow. Found this comment on Reddit and it really captures the moment. It's crazy that there's a live stream of a burning nuclear power plant in a battlefield between 2 major European countries, but before you can see it, you have to watch a Domino's ad. Finally, something is cheaper than the Zimbabwe currency. $1 $100 trillion. Yes, please. The job of future historians will be the exact opposite of what it is now. From too little information to too much information, filtering out what was real and what was fake. It's quite possible that at one point, a samurai used a fax machine. Jason is a name from ancient Greece that sounds like it was made up in the United States in 1979. The ancestor of King Charles II of Spain. His family tree was a Christmas wreath. Great news, everyone. Only the Irish are allowed to name new species effective immediately. Where were you when you first learned the Irish for giant squid? The big mother of suck. Hey, hi, what's up? You're 4,000 miles away. I'm quarantining in Europe. Cool, but what are you there for? You're not from Europe, I'm assuming. I'm half German, half Japanese. Damn, Axis powers unite. Romans drunk on wine at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday, getting ready to watch a man have a 1v1 scrap with a lion. It's just different back then. Entertainment was crazy. How it feels to catch the extremely niche reference made by bro. You watching this video. Getting some of these like really niche memes. Where did it all go so wrong? I could name a few reasons. Select all images with Finnish snipers. I don't know why, but I just love images of snow. I don't care if there's a sniper, you could shoot me. Grandparents in modern time. Granddad, I made cookies. Come down before they get cold. Oh yeah, thanks grandma. Grandfather, you have been far too incompetent for far too long. I am now the new emperor. Not if you are disinherited first. 7-year-long civil war breaks out. List of serial killers by numbers of victims. This list is incomplete. You can help by expanding this. Never mind. Please do not expand the list by killing people. The one-time Wikipedia steps in. Time travel is invented. Regular people. Cool, I can see my grandparents when they're young. History buffs. Quick, everybody grab as many books as you can. Keep your fancy wedding cake. I'm having a Viking meat ship. How the Romans saw the Celts. How the Celts saw themselves. The axe was invented in 6000 BC. People in 5999 BC. Siblings in modern times. I'm obviously mum's favorite. Oh yeah? Well, I'm obviously dad's favorite. In the Ottoman Empire, I'm the eldest son of our late father, the Sultan. I am the true heir. Not if I get to the capital first. Monarchy, Commonwealth. Back to monarchy. 8-year-olds who thought the most dangerous things on earth were quicksand in the Bermuda Triangle, witnessing the greed and hatred of humanity. How girls cut Caesar. How boys cut Caesar. Women in Greece gets impregnated. Greek gods. I was in Olympus the whole time. No, he wasn't. Zeus kinda sus, not gonna lie. German gun fires. French field manual. You should be able to advance about 50 meters before they can fire again. German machine gun fires again immediately. French soldiers. That manual needs an update. No internet. Throw your phone away. Find a spot in nature. Enjoy. Go back to being medieval. These kids think they're getting candy, but it's really 16 gigabytes of ancient Greek philosophy PDFs. Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Skirts on boys, it's the latest rage. The rage in Germany is skirts on fellas. Don't knock it, girls. The Romans wore them and looked quite groovy. Bring this back. It does actually make more sense for guys to wear skirts because our nuts can just hang. During World War II, a Dutch minesweeper evaded the Japanese for 8 days, disguised as an island. The crew covered the decks and cut trees and painted exposed surfaces to look like rocks. They moved only at night and anchored close to the shore by day, eventually escaping to Australia. When he was 2 years old, he fell out of a second-story window and fractured his skull. When he was 6, he mistakenly drank boric acid. When he was 9, he fell over a small cliff and broke his leg. 11, he contracted measles and was in a coma for 9 days. At 14, he broke his arm when he caught it in a carriage door. 19, he was struck on the head by a falling brick. And when he was 23, he almost died from the effects of tainted wine. But when he was 29 years old, he invented the saxophone. Clearly, someone didn't want the saxophone invented. Incompetent time-traveling saxophone haters. In Japan, we have a little tradition called murdering a homeless person. How is this real? It's called crossroads killing. It's a Japanese term for a practice when a samurai, after receiving a new katana, tests its effectiveness by attacking a human opponent. Usually a defenseless passerby, in many cases during nighttime. They were demons. Imagine being drunk as hell on cheap wine on a summer day in ancient Rome, watching the chariot races, and seeing a chariot eat dirt on a turn. The crowd must have been insane. The crowd goes wild. In the late 1790s, it was in style to wear earrings depicting the execution of Louis. Damn, poor dude. Why was he executed though? Maybe I will eat my words. In Spanish, attention is something you lend because you kind of want it back. In French, you make it because it's not there if you don't. In English, you pay it because it's valuable. In German, you gift it because it's really a present. I wish I knew all languages. The British Prime Minister when 2 students wanted to kidnap him. Boo. I think the guy argued that it would make him win in the election, so they just didn't kidnap him. And it turns out he lost. Establishing dictatorships, destroying dictatorships, the United States.